and having something to accountability, electronic accountability partner. But also you have to realize that two people that you do not have to impress when you are traveling. Once again, there are two people you do not have to impress when you are traveling: yourself and the women. You don't have to do things to impress yourself. And a lot of time guys do things. I'm about to throw this money because they're trying to impress themselves, and they're also trying to impress the women. So the psychological part, remember that when you travel, you're out to enjoy, to experience, to learn, to have fun. But you don't have to walk out there trying to impress yourself. Like, yeah, I'm about to get this top show. If that's what you do on the regular, cool. But don't sit. And a lot of dudes go. I've seen guys go burn through 2,000 in 4 days. There's a guy that down here in Medellin went through 100,000 in 6 months.
God,
paper play, nothing else. And he'll tell you, I went through 100,000 on pay for play alone. That goes back to the psychological part of trying to impress the ladies. It is so simple to impress a woman in many of the countries that we go to with simple things, that when you guys go overboard with the tips at a restaurant, or you go overboard with the drinks that you're paying, you're wasting money because for example, the average Colombian male compared to you only makes $145. So how is he smashing the finest chicks when you see him walking down the street with them, and you going through 2,000 in 4 days? That means that something up here is wrong, and you're trying to impress either self, or you're either trying to impress the females. You don't have to do that. When I do whatever I travel, I act like the local dudes do. If the dude ain't got to come out that money to get that type of coochie, I ain't coming out that type of money. That type of coochie.
What I tell you personally will be getting me a lot of times. I mean, and I know this is, whatever, man. I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm not gonna get up here and cap, but I'll go to the club and I'll get the top shelf, tequila or whatever. Give me the full bottle, even if I'm not going to drink it, bro, which I normally don't finish it. You know what I'm saying? But I sit there with the table because the tables are so cheap, you know what I'm saying, over there. I'm just like, man, you might as well give me the hookah, give me the bottle, you know what I mean? Give me So, you see how that can kind of get out of hand sometimes, and so, but
you see, you know what you like, your budget. And the brother was saying, how do you keep from going over what you like and what your budget is? See, that's the kicker. When okay, I like my top shelf, so I'm going to bring my top shelf money. But then you got 2 or 3 females you've added on to that night. Now you're buying 2, 3, 4 more bottles, or you're getting the VIP section for the big couch instead of getting the couch for 4. Now you start to do things to only impress people. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got
Even though one master teacher was just giving us the insight on how to electronically monitor yourself, there is a psychological monitoring that you have to do. And the 2 people that I recommend that you do not try to impress with your money when you're traveling is yourself and women. Women will come. Just watch the local dudes, man. They smash them just as much as you do. And if local dudes in Colombia could be smashing these hot chicks on $400 a month income, there is nowhere in the world we should be going through $2,000, $3,000 in a week. And we're smashing the same level of chicks.
Hey, Brofessor, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from, and where have you traveled to?
How you doing, guys? I'm the Brofessor. I retired from the Air Force in 2011. I've been stationed overseas since '92, and combat veteran. So I pretty much just assist veterans, assistants, that are transitioning from military life. I'm a fire chief down here in Mexico, and so what I do is I invite guys that are getting out of military deroasing. If they don't want to go back to the States to live, they can come here. We get them set up in the school. We show them around, find them a house to live in, help them get their driver's license, and unpack all the stuff that's necessary, get in the bank, communication with your family back home, stuff like that.
I'm sorry, did you say where you traveled to?
Well, I've been overseas since 1992, so at the moment I'm in Mexico, where we can work all the way down Central America to Panama. I was in Colombia for 8 years. I lived in Choco. I lived in Medellin, obviously, and lived in Panama City. Lived in Chiriquí, right on the border of Costa Rica. But I've been a firefighter all this time, and I'm an international firefighter, so I get to travel to all these places. You guys keep blowing your fucking money on these girls. Come on, $3,000. That's like a salary for a veteran for the month. Why in the fuck you want to blow all this money? Fuck that shit. Get a cheap apartment, keep to yourself, and don't drink. Drinking is a big problem. Guys, because we don't have to be the same as we were back home. You can be yourself. That's a good thing. Peel off all these stupid masks and playing all these stupid games and trying to put on because you lead with your fucking wallet. That's exactly what we're going to depend on you for. So that's all my advice is to veterans that when they get out of the military, when they're ready to get out of the military, that they get a hold of me before they go back to the States and get emotional and dealing with these women over there. And, you know, they can just skip that because most guys who've been stationed overseas for any period of time know exactly what everybody's talking about here on this panel. It's exactly what it's like to feel like you've moved up in status. That feels great. I mean, I'm a millionaire now in pesos. Not Colombian pesos, but in Mexican pesos. And so my status went from just being a regular average veteran that just got out of the military to being able to have the flexibility to do what I want, when I want, with whoever I want, and no one telling me I can't do something. So I'm listening to these panels where the guys are actually bad talking all of us for going overseas, and they're trying to shame me. And I'm like, you understand, I've been military since 92, been overseas the entire time, and you're trying to shame me for being overseas, saying I'm running away for something? I mean, if anything, I don't want to live in the U.S. because it's too expensive, people are fucking rude, and half of the country is insane right now with, you know, whatever. And I don't want to deal with that. Down in Latin America, we just ignore that shit because it's just not worth it. Why the hell want to go back there when, you know, living on $3,000, you live like a fucking king down here. You know what I mean? My rent this house, I have a 5-bedroom house, 2-car garage, and a roof deck that looks like something out of South Beach. And it cost me $420 a month. And that includes all utilities and Wi-Fi is $25 a month. Now, it's Mexican Wi-Fi, but it's good enough.
We pay the same. It's kind of funny that you would say that, Professor, because we pay $420 a month here in Colombia, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 6-foot tall ceiling. I mean, 12-foot vaulted ceilings, very modern. We got security. We've got all, just like you said, all the Wi-Fi, electricity, all utilities, all the cable included, and a garage for our truck. Yeah. All of that is for $420 a month. And so when you come down, one of the benefits of living in another country, just like in your case, now you can take that rest of that $3,000 and going back to what one master teacher was talking about financing. Now you got money to do what one master teacher is talking about. You don't just watch his videos. You like, you know, I can invest in this, what he's talking about. I can get consultation. I can afford consultations from him now because I'm only paying $420 a month. So there's a huge economic benefit to if you're making that $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, but you're only paying $450 for your basic needs or $420. I'm telling you. So when he said $420 and he's in Mexico getting all those benefits, and I'm saying $420 a month, and I'm in Colombia and I've been living here with all these benefits, I was able to go to a dealership, drop $30,000 cash, and get a 2020 Equinox running out the door. At the same time, we had other investments that we put in throughout the years because we're not paying U.S. prices that interrupt our ability to invest or get consultations from, like I said, once again, from one master teacher or from Austin or other individuals or from Brofessor. And lastly, I want to say shout out to Brofessor in the sense of that he lived in Choco. And for those that don't know Choco is one of the most chocolate cities in all of South the country, actually country states. It's this whole state, chocolate state in all of South America. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, for him to be walking through and living in Choco, He
I
like
got
chocolate.
videos.
There is no way in the world.
I got videos on my YouTube channel of me in Choco doing everything I normally do every single day. I adopted 2 children from one of my sergeants who passed away in Afghanistan, and his wife was murdered there. So I took both their kids and raised them for my own. And they're in Germany now, where I was stationed at before, and now they're grown men, so they're 26 and 29 years old. Both of them are black, got afros like this, and are just handsome as could be.
Yeah.
And in Germany, you know how it is. And you guys been stationed in Germany, you know how the German girls like the brush. So they're very popular there.
So, Professor, I want to
hold on, real quick. I just want to let me just say something really quick. I want to speak to Brofessor, and I just want to tell you, brother, thank you for your service. Okay.
Oh, thank you for answering.
Yeah. So I'm actually about to retire from the Air Force as well. Like my retirement date is July 23. So that's actually why I'm here. Like I joined in 2003. Okay. And just really quickly, we have to do a recruiting here. If you guys are sitting on your ass and you ain't doing anything, go to the recruiter. Like,
yeah, why not?
He can tell you, I can tell you, like that joining the military changed my life, like completely. It changed my life completely, because now you are around a bunch of professionals, right? You have mentors, like a lot of people.
Looks like he froze for a second, but I concur fully. I enlisted in the Marine Corps in '87. I was commissioned in '95. I just retired in August after 35 years, 4 months, and 22 days. So for my brothers in the Air Force, all of the branches of the service are not meeting their recruitment goals. And sadly, over 70% of the American kids do not meet the mental, moral, and physical requirements. Mental, they can't pass the test. Moral, they've got a felony or they take drugs or something. Physical, they got plates, pins, or screws in their body, or they've got some other problems, or they use drugs. So there is a pressing need, and they have so many bonuses going on right now for folks to come in. And not only do I practice what I preach, my son is a senior in college, Army ROTC. He's got guaranteed work for the next 7 years. His college, which is $70 grand a year, is completely taken care of, and he's going to have a viable skill going on for the next few years, so that he'll be able to take care of the old man the way I was taking care of him.
Right, you can get a remote job
right there. I loved it. Go speak to the recruiter, get the best deal going. Play the Navy and the Air Force and the Coast Guard against each other, get the best deal going.
And you get to travel for free, or on Uncle Sam anyway.
Yep.
Hey, Austin, I wanted to hop in here real quick. I've been patiently waiting. I just want to say what's up to the panel, what's up to the chat. What up? I'm One MC. I see you doing your thing in Brazil, baby. I love it. Dallas boys representing 100%. I want to add to one of the guys who asked a question about how to save money. What I do, I typically take out like 1,000, 1,500 reais, and I'm good for the week. You feel me? So that's a good way to track your money by pulling money out of the ATM. So you know exactly how much you spend. I think 1,000 reais right now is like $192, somewhere around there. So that's what I typically do, and I can have the best time of my life with $192. You know, or $2,000.
Would you be interested? Would this panel be interested in a 30-second elevator pitch on how to make money no matter where in the hell you go in the world? Anywhere in Latin America, Philippines, Thailand, wherever.
Go ahead.
And I'll tell you how I did it. I was broke as fuck. I was broke as shit. And I was, you know how it is, man. I finally paid off all my child support. I owed $70,000 in back child support for a kid that wasn't mine. And I had a DNA test and it wasn't mine. So I was held in contempt. I lost my license like 12 times. So I'm very much a fuck child support advocate for men. And a lot of the veterans are getting fucked over because when they're stationed overseas and they get deployed, they're gone for 4 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year and a half. And during that time, a lot of these guys, 30% paternity fraud in the United States, is even more with veterans, is even more with military members. So when they go back to the States, they're all fucked up. They're hot. Sometimes they got PTSD and they don't know what to do. I sent them to VA. I go talk to this guy here, bring your records, go get everything. And once that's all set, you get your VA pension. Now you can get the fuck out of here. Okay, that's one avenue for disabled veterans or combat veterans or whomever that has any form of disability that applies. And it's all records based, so it's not like you can bullshit. And in addition to that, a lot of places overseas, you know, Airbnb is where it's at really. Because if you find a hot space, like I'm sure you guys are in like Poblano. We have Polanco here. And Polanco is like the fancy part in Santa Fe. And the most expensive rent there is $1,500 US. And I had 10 of those at one time. And I rented every one of them for a fraction of the price. And then I just made the difference. And that's how I survived until I got my pension. Because sometimes veterans have to wait a long time because the line's thousands of people. Because there's so many returning veterans that are fucked up in the head. So I put people in the line as best I can, tell them to be patient, and then to work on themselves. Because if they're not working on themselves, the idle minds of veterans can go out, drink, get fights, and get in trouble, and then they end up in jail. Or they just get loose and act up, and then what happens is they go to jail, and then they can't get a real job, a federal job, or go overseas and, you know, get deployed again. So even those guys, and this is it, I have 2 dormitories here in this fire station. And in each of those, there's 6 guys here, and then 2 more guys outside, and then another 8 guys that are in another town. And each one of them pays $500 US a month to live a baller life in one of these little houses that we rent down here. So it's actually a good win-win situation. Upwork, if you're an online person, you could be a virtual assistant to some people. You make $20 a shot. $20 is a lot of money down here in Latin America. $20 is like groceries for a week here in Mexico. It's all fresh foods and everything's dirt cheap. About 40% of the cost of living as it would cost for, 2 years ago in the U.S. or 3 years in the U.S. I don't know. I haven't been in the U.S. in a long time, so. But that's a good start. You have to research. You have to build relationships with Latinos there. Latinos are face-to-face business people. They don't answer emails. They don't always enter texts on time, and they are face-to-face. Practice whatever language it is that the country you're going to move to ahead of time, because if you do not, and you meet a girl, she's going to think it's cute that you don't speak Spanish or whatever language. But after a while, it gets tiring. Girls get exhausted from foreigners because it takes a lot of energy to speak other language and try to communicate. If you don't, they'll think you're lazy or you're stupid. And unfortunately, you know, we go down there, we're all that. We're really not. We're really just men. And if you look back, but you got to do this money thing, okay? You got to be talking about money to your friends in Medellin or your friends out down there in Armenia or wherever you guys, Pereira or whatever you decide to go. You got to make at least 3 friends that are into business, these micro businesses that you can actually make dollars and live on pesos, because that's the only way to live in anywhere in Latin America is to earn dollars and to live on pesos. Hey, Austin, I appreciate you invite me on. I gotta take off, but if you guys. I do have a YouTube channel, and it's the Brofessor. You see me. I work with children down here, and we have a fire academy for kids, a fire academy for high school kids, and a fire academy for veterans of the U.S. If you have felonies that are not violent, I'd be more than happy to have you come down here, go through my school, get a certification, go back to the U.S. if you want to work there, making the big bucks as a fireman. You can't do that if you have felonies or any charges whatsoever. They won't let you into the academy in the United States. So I got a good thing down here because you get certified. It's the same training, it's the same books, it's the same lessons. Then you fly back and you take the state exam, wherever the hell I tell you to go, Texas or Arizona or wherever. And then you could go back and work if that's what you feel like you want to do. I'm an international guy, so I get deployed. Just like you would go TDY, I go TDY as a civilian. Now I'm on the command level now, so it's not like I'm, running around putting out fires all day. This is my fire station here, and I'm the one who says, hey, any veterans that are interested in coming overseas or staying overseas, come on down and see the Brofessor.
I appreciate you coming in, man. Everybody, you have not, go subscribe to his YouTube channel, it's Brofessor. Let me read a couple of these super chats as well. CME Hustle says, peace, bros. oh, these are old. 80% of women in the United States are obese. 70% of men are obese. There's only a 10% offset, so please stop the cap. Yo, Scott, thanks again for the Sweden video. Definitely changed my life for the better. Vote for that off pH. Great show, guys. Appreciate this super chat. My favorite videos is when you guys engage with the chat, doing live videos of talking with women who speak Portuguese. Support from Tampa, Florida. Appreciate this super chat. Gotta go watching from the clouds. Watching in the clouds, fam. Oh, I guess he's on the plane. Okay. Salute to Austin and the panel. City Boys up 100K. Opinions on Tulum, Mexico, real estate, Airbnb, rental, etc. Heard they are building an airport down there.
Very expensive place to live, but it's worth it because there's no crime. You just got to carry your passport. Otherwise, the cops stop you. Don't drink in public either in Mexico. You'll go to jail. And you don't want to go to jail in Mexico. It's so fun.
I didn't know that.
Asking me how I know. I don't. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know you couldn't drink in public out there.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
You cannot drink in public. Do not drink in public.
Go to Thailand, fellas.
Yeah, it's strange. It's like you could go here, go to the pharmacy and buy all the Mexican vitamins you want, but you can't get antibiotics. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Crazy. But the rules are it's not our culture. It's bizarro world. Just everything that you think you know about stuff. I'll give you an example. Playing the dumb telephone games. You know, some dating coaches will tell these guys, yeah, don't respond right away. Well, I got good news and bad news. Yes, it makes them all flustered and stuff, but Latino women don't get mad. They fucking explode. Okay? So if you want to play those same head games with Latino women that you play with the bimbos in the United States, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. These chicks will walk. They love honesty. They love white teeth. They'll get your teeth clean before you go down. That's the best advice I can give you.
What is your channel? I can't.
I was going to see you again.
What is your channel? I can't find it.
Okay, it's actually Gail she put the link in the chat. It's Brofessor and the Rockera.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm shadow banned. Yeah, maybe they shadow banned me. You can't even type Tate in anywhere in Google. They've made him disappear. They got to do it to us too, but who cares? We're already out the door.
Yeah, I just found it.
Yeah, I'm still. Let me see.
And it's funny when you mentioned about the drinking in the public and drugs. I lived in UAE for 4 years. A good buddy of mine was a fire captain in Vicksburg, Mississippi. So when he made the fire captain, he was maxed out about $45,000. He went international because they built a nuclear plant to do fire fighting there. Immediately tripled his income, and it's no income tax in the UAE. So he's getting his Vicksburg, Mississippi fire pension plus his $130,000 a year tax free. Plus they give him housing, plus a free ticket home for him and his wife to go wherever they want to go. So in addition, tell them about not just firefighting, but fire prevention. The people that design the fire sprinklers, the exits, all that stuff before the building is built is a burgeoning industry. You would know better than me, bro, about fire prevention, firefighting.
Well, in Saudi right now, the average salary for oil petroleum workers is about $30,000 a month, just so you know. And they offered that shit to me, and I was like, fuck you. I'm never going back to Saudi again. I'm going back to Kuwait, Iraq, Afghanistan, to suck a dick. I don't give a shit. Don't even come looking for me. I don't care. You reactivate me because the military sucks now. We're not coming back. But window washers in Doha, you know Doha.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Doha is like Miami Beach now, bro. It's fabuloso. Yep. You don't have to wear bias. You don't have chicks wearing burqas, nothing, bro. And it's cheap, and the people are super cool. You could be an English teacher and not even be an English teacher. They will hire you, and they'll pay you like $45 an hour estimated just to speak English, okay? Mm-hmm. There's other various things. I don't think that guys coming down are really hyper-focused on working in the local economy, so it's not really worth it. But the Middle East, for sure, is good for money. Now, what most guys do that are in Medellin, that are agency or ex-military, is they go and they work security jobs in the UAE, Qatar, Doha, wherever, and they make 30,000. They can make $1,000 a day tax free, and they'll go there for 3-month rotations. So they got 90 grand in cash. They'll go back to Medellin. One of my friends opened like a motor. If you go to Medellin, I think it's motor scooters or whatever rental. He bought all those motor scooters with money he got working a security job for 3 months in Iraq, like 4 or 5 years ago. And now this is what these folks are doing, because now everybody's remote workers because of the coronavirus. So everybody can keep doing what they're doing, making dollars, living on pesos.
Remote like now. I'm looking at my computer and just doing that work after I came back. But when you go over there, like you mentioned, not drinking in public in Mexico, if you go to UAE for holiday, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, do not take your prescription meds, meaning painkillers, Percocets, Vicodins. Even though you have a prescription in that Muslim country, they look at painkillers differently. So leave it behind, because even if you have a prescription in a bottle with your name on it, they will go ahead and they'll do a Brittany Griner on you. They'll look through your bag and say, what is this? And you'll get 5 years for every tablet of Percocet or something that you bring in. So just
now, right?
You're Tylenol 800.
Yeah, they're no joke, man. No joke. So guys, fellas, listen, level up, or you can leave the drugs and the booze back behind in the United States with the fucking losers that we just left behind. I think it's better because it makes you more focused, hyper-focused when you're in public, because you do need to have situational awareness. If you're, you know what I mean, if you're in Parque Gutierrez, you're probably not going to happen. The minute you walk 2 blocks outside of Parque Gutierrez after people have been clocking you all night and you're halfway in the bag, look out. Because they just put a gun in your face, they give me your phone, and then all our emotional dumbasses will go, fuck that shit, and get all indignant and want to fight these guys that are trying to steal your cell phone with a gun in your face and run away on a motorcycle. I just say, to hell with that. Level up, hang with your 3 bros, and then you have a strategy plan. So there's security. You have no problem as far as like backup. There's no need to carry around weapons of any kind. All you got to do is stay in the better places. If you go and bar you anti-fucking Okia looking for drugs and hookers at 3 in the morning, guess what? You're going to have problems. Addiction, I've seen homeless guys in Colombia, Americans, homeless Americans that got strung out. Some girl broke their heart and they went crazy. And now they're homeless in Bogota or in Medellin, right down there in the center of the war's fucking parks. Yeah. So drugs and booze, I don't get me wrong, I'm no saint. Okay, I'm an alcoholic. I stopped drinking 20 fucking years ago in March, so I don't have that problem anymore, okay? If you come down here and you act like an asshole, then you're going to be ostracized by the chicks, okay? And another thing, and Austin, I don't know if you got that video of me when I talked about all the whistling that all the Colombians do. When you got a hot girl, they will whistle, they will hiss, but don't take offense. There's a secret to this. They're not whistling at her. They're whistling to you out of admiration. It's strange because we want to throw down. Some guy's going to whistle at my girl every 5 fucking blocks. And what the fuck are these dudes doing? You know what I mean? You get to go down there, you find a fucking dime that's stacked or whatever, and they admire you for that. They're like, you got the best one.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Don't take offense to it.
They have a saying down. You're absolutely correct. I get that all the time, and they have a saying down here, and they'll tell you you have a good hand. I see you got a good you got a good hand, bro. You take care of your business. So, but if you looking bad, or if your girl looking bad, they be like, man, you got a bad hand. You need to take care of your business at home. So there is a lot of that's one thing that people don't talk about a lot. That's a great point that you pulled up. Colombian men, at least here, they compliment a man that has a attractive woman. It's not a jealousy thing, because there's so many here. You ain't gotta be like it is in the States. Like, oh man, I'm gonna have to take his when he go to the men's room. It's not like that down here. There's so many. Her mom look like that. Her aunts, her sisters, her whole family. So then it's the other thing about Colombian men I noticed. They're the hookup artists. Man, you could be sitting there, man. Next thing you know, man, listen, my sister over here, she's been checking you out, blah, 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 blah. My name is so-and-so and so-and-so. What's your name? Next thing you know, he's bringing his sister phone number or bringing his sister over to you. So when people sit back and try to sell the idea that men in South America are jealous of American men coming. Don't it's no, them the hookup dudes. They will
man, those guys love to talk to us. They're like, where are you from? Where are you from? All my soldiers, by the way, are black. And so down here, I brought them Medellin. We went to Choco. And if you see my video on Choco, you'll see that one of my soldiers down, took him around. He married the mayor's daughter, and she's an attorney. Wow. Okay? All right? Not one fucking hooker the entire time he was with me. I was there 8 years. I never had one myself, never had to pay for it. Thank God that some people calm down with the right intentions. He was depressed. He didn't know what to do with himself. I got him into treatment, got him working out and stuff, started making him feel better. And he started feeling way better when the women started talking to him. He started to look better because he was a fat ass. He was like a skinny, fat piece of shit. It took him in the gym. And on 3 months later, he's like shredded because I was torturing him with, cardio and shit every morning, fucking 5 in the fucking morning, and making him eat oatmeal and egg whites. By the way, your housekeeper could be your cook too. And I think salary was like $180 a month. And she was there Monday through Saturday. And she was, you know what? This is super kind people in Colombia, man. People have this wrong idea about Colombians because of the cartel. People have this wrong idea about Colombians because of Pablo Escobar, because of the violence. They automatically assume that all Colombians love drugs and cocaine, and they're all involved. And if you see somebody who's from Colombia in Florida, you automatically assume they're a narco trafficker. And if you see a woman outside, you automatically assume they're a prostitute, which is so fucked up in the head because, for one, Colombians don't like drugs. At least the higher class ones, the ones that I hang out with, the elite, top of the levels people that are smart and have things, and they know what cocaine does to people because they look on TV and they see the United States and they think, whoa, fuck that. Okay? So they don't do drugs for that reason. It's very easy for them to fall off and lose everything and have nothing. Okay? But they always got to rebound to their parents. And that's not a good thing. Okay? So they stay away from drugs. Most prostitutes have boyfriends that live in the barrio with them. Most girls that are interesada, which is like gold diggers, have a boyfriend in the barrio. All the fellas that are in the States right now, do not send these girls Western Union. If they ask you for money and they give you a sob story like, oh, I can't, my mom's sick again. It's the same shit story. They always have the same. You do not give them money. You say, no, baby, I can't do it. Well, when I see you, then you can give them whatever the fuck you want. But if you are one of these suckers that puts your wallet on top of your fucking head and you lead with your wallet, it's going to be one of those fucking local $100,000, $500 a fucking week budgets. That's why. Because you lead with your wallet. Guess what she's paying for? She's paying for her boyfriend and her kid with him and her mama and everybody else and buying all the food for everybody in her family with your money that you're sending from the States. I am ashamed of a lot of people because they're so simped out because they've never had a woman treat them like that before. They're willing to give anything to these fucking girls. So what I say is just keep your fucking pants. Think about this. If you're in the United States, would you hand a $100 bill to an American woman? Fuck no. So think about it like that. While you're in the United States, let Colombia be in Colombia and let the United States be in the United States and get the fuck out of there. And when you get to Colombia, behave yourself because they're good people and it's worth being there. Guys, I really got to go because time's up. I got a training in 30 minutes. All right, Austin, see you later, bro.
Appreciate it, man. I keep in touch with you.
Fred. Oh, you Marines, you keep your asses down here, all right? That's an order.
Yeah. Fred, you said you had something you want to say?
Yeah, I had a lot to say, but he hit on a lot of stuff that I wanted to touch on, but it's been a lot of information. One thing I will say, the Brazilian guys down here, just to piggyback off what he said, is that if they not giving up no cat, we're not going to no bar, we're not going to no party, we're not doing none of that shit. Like, I got homies in Brazil, and that's the first thing they ask the chicks, like, what we doing? Are we getting down tonight? Period. Point blank. Period. Up front. And if they say yeah, all right, cool, we'll go get drinks. If they say no, all right, no sex, no party. Period. So the simp culture in Brazil is non-existent, bro. And I was like, damn, bro, straight like that? He was like, yeah, bro, straight like that. And I was like, shit, okay then. So that's how I approach chicks from here on out. That's what's gonna save you a lot of money, bro, because they know you got bread. You American. So if you already coming to the table and think you about to just flex, and floss, they gonna eat your ass up. You feel me? Because they already know you got bread. So the easiest way you're gonna save bread in Brazil, Colombia, and all that shit like that is to know the intentions up front of with these chicks. Because there's a lot of chicks who like to be on the scene and party and live this lifestyle with a gringo, and then you going home by yourself at the end of the night. What's the point? You feel me? Like, I'm not gonna be just tricking and having all these baddies around, and they ain't giving up nothing at the end of the day. You feel me? Right. So for me, all the chicks that I'm with, they know the routine, they know the schedule, and that's why my success rate in Brazil is like 100. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to miss. And I say that with confidence. For one, I can speak the language. For two, I know how they operate, you know, and I can spot it from up front if they really about some shit or not. So that would be something I would say for like the dudes who've never been to Brazil. Learn the language 100%. I know it sounds cliche, but that shit would take you a long way. And I posted a video recently on my channel. I had 3 chicks pull up to the beach the other day, and I threw one of the guys that was with me as an American guy. I gave him 2 chicks. I said, bro, here's your option. You got this chick or that chick. I hit them before they even pulled up to the beach. I was like, bro, you got number 1, number 2. I sent him the photos of both of them. He said, I want this one. I said, you know what? I'm going to call both of them just for you so you can pick and see which one is better, which one you vibe with in person. So he was a shy guy. You feel me? Like, and that's another thing, bro. Like, when you come to Brazil, you got to be, I'm not telling you to be like me or Austin or 1MT or whoever. You feel me? But, like, you got to be ready to talk, bro. I don't give a fuck how good these girls look or whatever the case. Like, you got to be ready to talk and have a good time and be entertained. And even if you don't speak the language, you gotta insert yourself into the conversation. For the simple fact that that's the reason they didn't give them the number. I think he might got one of their Instagrams, but who gives a shit about Instagram, bro? There's chicks who hit me like, oh, you want to talk on Instagram? No, you want to talk to me, here's my WhatsApp. You got to be direct with these chicks because that's how the Brazilian dudes is, bro. Like, you got to be exactly how they are, bro, like 100%. So he didn't go home with nothing. I gave him the oop. He missed the wide open dunk. It is what it is. He said he had success in Brazil, but who is it with? You feel me? I feel like, and this is no shot to him, but I feel like guys come to Brazil because they're so westernized that they go for low quality and they feel inferior. You know, they feel embarrassed to be around chicks who, yeah, bro. He got the video going right now.
Wow, look at this.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about him right there with the dreads?
Yeah, so, yeah, bro, we having the Casamigos. You see, we vibing, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, bro, another guy asked me, can you be an introvert and be successful in Brazil? And I want to say with my wholehearted, honest opinion, no. Because Brazilian girls are very outgoing. They're very lively. You feel me? I think if you're sitting back in the cut too much, they told me, they texted like he was just not talking to us. We didn't like his energy, this vibe. So I would say if you're an introvert, you need to start getting out of that shell 100%, bro. Just because the Brazilian chicks are very outgoing and fun, and they like energy. They like to turn up in moderation, not like Western chicks. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna see Brazilian chicks just walking around drunk and stumbling in the streets and all that twerking shit, wild shit. So in moderation, they like to have a good time, but they want a guy who is lively. You feel me?
Yo, Fred, I like you said that. Over in Thailand, it's the same thing. There's a word called sanuk, S-A-N-U-K, which means fun. Women all over the world want what? The experience. They want the fun. They don't want to be bored. If you speak broken Thai or broken Portuguese, still you make the effort. You smile, you joke, you interact with them, and that experience pulls it in. And I had to break out of it where a driven man, I'm sitting in a nice bar with chicks around me, and I'm sitting there seriously. And one of the girls said, Dan, aren't you on vacation? I said, yeah. She said, well, why aren't you smiling? And I got hit with a bolt of lightning because we're so used to the West to having that grit on our face. always looking out, that sometimes you just have to shed that skin, smile, be happy, be lighthearted, and your energy, your magnetism is going to pull these chicks in because they want to be around your light. So that's just me on my soul.
That's absolutely correct. Especially when the brother just said about being social. Even if you, I say this is your number 2 go-to. Even if you haven't mastered the language yet, pick 1 or 2 of the dances in that country to do. If you are a person, I'm telling you, here in Cali, Colombia, you will get more coochie just having halfway bachata, salsa, merengue, which is just a side-to-side step, just having dancing that showcases energy, because when you're dancing in South America, usually it's face-to-face, eye-to-eye. So they get that interaction of energy as well. And so they're like, okay, he's not too serious, he's fun, things like that. Number 2, which this brother can acknowledge too, and all you guys can acknowledge, we as American black men keep forgetting we are exotic to these women.
Yeah.
These women have watched Will Smith forever. They sat back and watched Tupac. They sat back and watched all these American black men on videos and movies and television shows for years. They had this fantasy of, I want one of those one day. And I'm telling you, but before I met my wife, man, I was a fantasy dude. I got so much from women in South America just off of that I was one of their fantasies.
Right.
So guys fail to realize that when you go to these other countries, yes, you see them as exotic, but they also see you as exotic.
100%.
Yeah.
And another thing I would add, and the people, they ask me why all the time. The more English she knows, I stay away from her. If she, like in Brazil, bro, I only talked, like the shorty that's in the room right here. She knows it's hella broken. Like she can only put like 2 words together, really. Like the more English they know, I stay away from them, bro. In my experience, the ones that spoke English the most have been the most feminist, and it's almost identical with the chicks in the States with the hardcore feminist shit. They don't need it. They actually told me, I don't need a man. I don't need you. I don't need your money. I don't need none of that shit. Like so it's like, as soon as she tells me she speaks English, I give her like 30 minutes to really impress me with some shit. And if she don't, bro, I don't care. Like I've had some bad chicks and they all spoke English. And I'm just like, I'm not dealing with that shit. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. That's the beauty about Brazil, that one don't act right, you can go to the next one within 5 minutes, and it's at that quick of a pace. And some of the chicks know, bro, like if I fuck up, he can easily go find another one. So that's why they try to be on their best behavior for the most part. Some don't get it, but the ones who get it, they know, and they stick around. They know that I'm not gonna fuck up a good thing because I know he can take care of me. He can do this, he can do that, and not worry about it. Because the dudes here don't plan dates. They don't take chicks out. They just really trying to smash. And a lot of the time, the chicks is the one planning the dates, doing all that shit, and paying, bro. So they, you know what I'm saying? So when they meet you, of course, it's going to be somewhat about the money. But at the same time, you got to know, like, what position you in. You're in a different country, so you elevate yourself.
Well, since you speak fluent Portuguese, do they label you as somebody who's too experienced and they avoid you because you know the game?
Absolutely not. If anything, bro, that's why I be saying I'm the king of receipts. Honestly, it's just some shit I just be saying that's on YouTube, but like it really helps, bro. Like if you know Portuguese, any guy that's been to Brazil that can speak Portuguese that's not from Brazil, they look at it as like, damn, this dude is really took my culture and engulfed it, and now he's trying to learn. I'm not fluent in Portuguese, bro. I'm not fluent by any means, but I can walk up to a chick right now at the beach, at the market, anywhere, and have a conversation with basic Portuguese. You know what I'm saying? All you need to know is in English. I'm gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know, hey, how are you? What's your name? What do you like to do? What's your phone number? Let's go get drinks. You know what I'm saying? The basic conversation. Let's go to the beach. Stuff like that. And then as you go along and as you come to Brazil or you study Portuguese, you'll start to learn more. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when people go to the US, when they learn in English, we don't talk like that, bro. We use more slangs, more all that type of stuff. It's the same in Brazil.
I only ask because in Thailand, when I speak my Thai, they immediately tag because they want a man who knows no Thai at all.
So it's different. Yeah, it's different.
So I keep seeking. I'll say to them, "Sawadee krap, kapun krap," and they're like, "Oh, where you learn Thai?" And I say, "Well, where'd you learn English?" And then they start laughing, and that breaks the ice. And I don't speak any more Thai around them because they know that I'm a butterfly, fly around each woman. So
it's flipped in Brazil. The more you can speak their language, and the more you know samba, you know how to dance. The more you know about their culture, the better it is going to be for you. So it's completely different in Brazil. And even when I speak Portuguese, they always tell me they find it sexy because I have an accent when I say it, and it's funny to them and it's cute. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, I want to help you learn this." So they feel intrigued and entitled to help me, even when I'm like speaking and saying certain things. So it's completely different
for them to speak English. So for instance, in Korea, it's a big thing to learn English, pass the English test,
right?
Even if you're not going to leave. So there will be Korean women that a Korean will see another Korean speaking Korean, like I want to practice Korean. They'll look down on that person. Well, why aren't you speaking English to that foreigner? You must not know English, so you're low. So in Asia, really, it says, stop talking Thai. I want to learn the English. Whereas, so this is a good perspective. I'm learning from this.
Yeah, I got a homeboy who speaks. He's from Brazil, so of course he speaks fluent Portuguese. But when me and him together, he will not talk to me in Portuguese. He only wants to talk in English because he wants to learn it. But it's like, damn, well, I'm trying to speak Portuguese too. So we kind of mix the conversation and we intertwine it.